Sup people, it's your boy Slide. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the baby boomers and the Gen X. So pretty much baby boomers are people that were born between 1946 through 1964, and Gen X is pretty much people who were born in 1965 through like 1981, around that time frame. And a lot of these people, a lot of them are pretty good people. You know, a lot of them were cool. They taught the next generation how to do things and how to be responsible, hardworking. But majority of them didn't really do nothing. Okay? Many of them allowed television and the public school system to raise their children and to raise the next generation. That's what they did. So now you have all this confusion among the youth today. You see, people say millennials are lazy, they don't know anything. In some cases, I have to agree, they are pretty freaking lazy. Okay? But whose fault is that? Okay? The baby boomers, many of them didn't really teach or to pass on the knowledge. Like I said, every individual is different. I'm speaking on a collective term. Okay? As an individual, some of them did excellent job. Right? But collectively, they failed. So the baby boomers, they didn't really pass on the knowledge. They didn't really teach people certain skills on how to survive in today's society. That's why so many people have resentment. The baby boomers allowed television. No, sorry, not baby boomers. No, that's wrong. Baby boomers, they were the generation where they had to work hard. These were the people who were working long hours to make, they're working long hours. Okay? So they didn't really teach their kids how to do certain things. You know, because during the 60s, I can say around the 1960s, we had all these changes going on. We had the rise in feminism. We had the civil rights era. We had a lot of things. Okay? The 1960s was the time of change. Everything was changing. Everything. So when those things started happening, people got confused on how to do certain things. Okay? Then when you look at it, the baby boomers are now in massive debt. There are many of them today who are in student loan debt. Many of them have their houses foreclosed on. Many of them cannot take care of themselves. So as society, you just can't leave them on the wayside. You can't do that. So now they are in nursing homes in higher numbers. In some cases, some may have kids and the kids don't talk to them for whatever reason. Or some kids cannot afford to take care of them. Or some just don't have kids. When you end up in a nursing home, it is because you do not have the financial stability or the financial means to take care of yourself. That's why people end up in nursing homes. And it's rising in higher numbers. It's rising in higher numbers. Generation X. This is this is this is the generation of people who allowed the television to raise their kids. This is a generation that allowed the school system to take care of the kids because they put all their faith and all their trust and concern in the school system. While the Gen X people, while they were working, some of them were actually selfish. A lot of them spent their time, spending things on themselves. They'd work long hours to take care of themselves. They don't really take care of the younger generation. They really didn't. And now you have, because you have the Gen X, then the Millennials. Millennials, I think it starts from 1982 to like 1990 or 2000. Sometimes these stats vary based on the source you take it from. But in general terms, millennials start from 1982 to like 2000, pretty much. So now you have what do you call it, like confusion now, because many people are saying to themselves, like, why is this a Gen X person working at a retail store? These are people currently in their mid-40s and mid-40s, like 50s and shit. Okay? You're like, why is this person working at a grocery store? Why is this person always frustrated? Why is he always mad? Why is this person miserable? I'm going to explain why. What's going on is that there are some people in the Gen X generation, people who are Gen Xers. What happened, a lot of them, is that they were living for today and not for tomorrow. What do I mean by this? There are many of these people who had jobs that were making a lot of money. There are some jobs people had that made a lot of money. But some of these people did not save their money. They didn't really invest in the 401k. They didn't really invest in their retirement plans. They just lived for today because they're making all that money. And for some people, it worked out. Some people, they took care of themselves. They bought a house, they bought a car, they bought all these great things. Right? But they didn't really save any of it. And some things happen where companies downsize. Companies downsize all the time. So now take it, for example, you're working at an engineering company, and I'm going to say randomly, okay? You're making about maybe $7,000 a month. You make about $7,000 a month. And you were at that job for about 10 years, making good money. Some things happen. Companies downsize or they cut their budget and you're not making that same money no more. And now you're currently in your 40s. What happens? You really can't learn a new skill because you don't have the time. You may have a wife, you may have a girlfriend, you may have a family. All that stuff happens. You may start to downsize. You don't have time for that to go back to get a new skill. So these people now start working at these low-end jobs because that's all they can get. And I'm telling you guys from what I've seen, most of these jobs that pay anywhere between 10 through 20 bucks an hour, most of the people there are miserable. Don't take my word for it. Go to your job, look at the employees who are older. I bet you money they are miserable. And now people today are now upset with the millennials because the millennials, believe it or not, the millennials are the most luckiest generation of all time because the internet started to take off in 2005. The internet existed back in the late 90s. Yes, we all know this. But what I'm saying is that the internet took off in 2005 because we had the rise of social media. Okay, first we had Friendster, MySpace, Facebook, then you had Twitter. Okay, then is it like a few years ago they got Snapchat? So you have all these people, some people who are smart are making money off these social media platforms. Think about it. If you told an older person today that you are in social media, they'll look at it as if you're crazy. Oh, that's not a real job. But it is real dollars though. See what I mean? So you have this. So this is what causes resentment between the current generation and the baby boomers and the Gen X, because most people back in the 1950s through 1990s, most of these people had to do jobs to sustain themselves. They had to go to a job they did not like to take care of themselves and their families. The current millennials, majority of them, have the opportunity to do things they want to do. And this is what's causing a resentment between both generations right now. It's like when I talk to some of my older coworkers, right, at one of my old jobs, some of the older coworkers I talk to, some of them are pretty cool people. They're very cool. You know, some of them just do not like their lives. They sit there and think about, if I did things this, if I did things this way, if I did things that way. This is what they think about all the time because they really do hate their lives. They hate their lives. Many of them live in long-time regret. If I did this way, if I did this that way. Many of them can't go back because some of them got like bills they have to pay. Some are in debt. Some have to pay child support. Some got a mortgage. Like all that shit adds up. And this is what causes misery at the job. Because these people are stuck. There is not one person who is working. There is not one person who's working in a warehouse is happy. Not one. I don't care what anybody says. There's not one person working in retail that's happy. There's not one person. You may be comfortable with that lifestyle temporarily, but no one is ever proud to say, you know, I work in a warehouse. Because most warehouse, those jobs are fast paced. The pay is not worth the stress, but somebody has to do it. This is what causes all this resentment now. Because of the internet, you now have more younger people making money. Let me give you an example. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is like out currently, I don't know how, I think he's 24, 24 or 25. I don't even know, but he is pretty young in his 20s. That dude is worth up to $100 million. Why is that? Because of the internet. You know, he started off YouTube, then started doing his own thing in the mainstream. Now, he doesn't have to work ever again. How do you think that will make an older person feel? How someone can just make money doing something that they love to do while they have to go to a job that they don't like for pretty much low wages. This is what's causing a rift between the generations. And now what's happening is that these older people are now going to find themselves in nursing homes because young people today, the millennials today, are the selfish generation. They don't take care of nobody. Okay, this is the a generation where if you annoy them or you stress them out, they cut you out of their lives. The millennials are ruthless. Okay, the millennials today are ruthless. They don't care. You stress them out, you're out of their life. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're their best friend. They don't care. You could be anything to them. You stress them out, you're out. They don't even deal with you. This is what's going on. So now you have many of these baby boomers today, currently, some of them are in their 60s and 70s, they have student loan debt. They have student loan debt. I know people will think it's from their 20s. No, not from their 20s. Many people who are baby boomers and some who are a Gen X, some of them went back to school in their 30s and 40s, and some of them weren't able to pay off their student loans. So now they're in debt. So this is what the issue is. Because now you have these people who are now in financial debt and they can't get out of it. Okay? So this is what's causing issues in today's society. So this is why I tell a lot of people, if you don't have any kids, you still have time to chase your goals. Because the average lifespan of Americans today is it 78 years old? You want to enjoy your life. Don't be one of those people where you look back, I could have done this, I could have done that. Nah. Coulda, woulda, shoulda don't mean nothing to nobody. Okay? So this is what's going on in today's society. And at the end of the day, if you're not successful, people don't want to be around you. They don't. This is what's causing a rift among the generations. The Gen X people didn't teach the millennials anything. And now you have these millennials today, some of them who are just going crazy. Now these are the ones who are causing all the chaos in society. Because in today's society, nobody corrects you anymore. You make a mistake, you will go up to the court system. So, of course, why won't people go crazy? Okay? So this is what's going on in today's society. And if you don't understand how things work, you're going to get left behind. So, anyhow, let me think. Peace.